Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Tutivik and we are going to have an amazing life together. Today is a very magical day because I have a very special topic, very unique and a very different topic. It's going to be very deep, it's going to be life changing, it's going to answer a lot of questions that you have. And it's going to be a topic about God, manifestation, if manifestation is true, spiritual world, and so much more. Good morning, dear. Welcome. And you can be assured and safe. You know, I have a degree in psychology. That's my first degree. It's my bachelor's. I studied for 4 years. So we studied all religions in the world, and of course, Bible separately. So I needed to study Greek, Hebrew, and Latin in order to understand different manuscripts. And of course, after that, I went to do my master's in psychology and educational science. So it means that I'm qualified to talk about theology, and I'm also qualified to teach about it. So I actually am a teacher. That's, master's degree educational science means to create courses. That's why I create courses. So I want you to know that you're in safe hands, and it's going to be a very interesting topic, and it's going to do certain things and answer many different topics, many different questions, many different comments from a lot of videos that we have nowadays, a lot of books that we have nowadays, a lot of movements we have nowadays, a lot of churches. And I wanted to wear green on purpose because it's a very beautiful healing color. It's a very beautiful strong color of prosperity as well, and I wanted to heal your heart, heal your mind, and answer the question. So I was asking if you would like to have a life about God, and 100% people said yes. So I'm here for you, and I will guide you. And I welcome you to Royalty Living, and you can purchase any online courses. The links are below. You can purchase my online courses, and they're very different. You have shorter courses, you have longer courses, and I had a beautiful course that I just launched. It's about how to get gifts from men. So some women really like to have very practical course, not about just talk about femininity in general, whatever. They want to know how to get gifts, how to get trips, how to go to dinner. So I made a course. It's a very short, it takes you less than an hour, and by the end you know exactly what to say, how to say, and how to go get a man to take you for a dinner, how to get gifts, how to get flowers, how to get candy, teddy bear, whatever, perfume, whatever you want. And I practiced this, what I taught, for many times with many different girls, and it worked. And I did myself, as well, so many times. So it's not the first time. So it's an amazing course, and it's an easy way, when you want to see results. So it's magical. It has femininity aspect, but it's so direct, it's so clear, and it's so easy. So if you're interested, that course is available. And of course, the Wealthy Man course, there's a femininity huge bundle available now. And of course, I started Rolls Royce beautiful luxury lady course that is having live sessions, so you can join. And any dresses that I wear, any beautiful items you can see on my pre-recorded videos are also available for you. So welcome everyone. We're going to have a very big topic, and I have prepared all the notes, and I love having my excuse me, I love having my laptop with me so I can see what you're saying, and I can also answer your questions. So anything that is in your mind, I'm here to help you, I'm here to guide you. And I want you to also understand that this is not a video against anyone, this is not judging anyone, this is not putting any religion down. I'm just explaining to you from very like a scientific, very like a neutral position. So by the end of the video, you choose what is best for you. I'm just providing you the details. I will not ever attack anyone, I will never judge anyone, I will never criticize anyone or any religion or any practice. You are free to do whatever you want, but a lot of people have questions and they want to go. It's like when you have a question about your body or something hurts, you want to go to the doctor who studied these things. But the doctor is not judging that you have illness. The doctor is not judging you that you have a rash. He's saying, oh, this rash comes from here, we need to put this medicine. So today I want to play the doctor role, that I'm just giving you the reasons, I'm explaining to you the causes, and I'm giving you the medicine, giving the answers. And then you as a patient, your free will, you have a free will to decide what's best for you and what's good for you. Arab clothes really suits you, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. It's, of course, all this Middle Eastern culture, I come from there. Hi, I'm new Sabi here. Welcome, welcome, new subscriber. I always say new subscribers have 70% of everything: consultation with me, courses, my dresses. So for 6 months, it starts from 3, but I extend to 6 months. You have anytime you can contact. The email is below. Yes, exactly. I'm happy you understand what I'm saying. Yes, I understand. As brighter the woman, as brighter the color she's wearing, as more provided she is, or the more she loves herself. You're ready? I'll just turn the camera and I'll show you the magic. He is so close. My show is on. Yes, it is. This view. I wish I can screenshot this moment. How beautiful. It's so beautiful here. It's just very hot. Otherwise, I will do the live there. Welcome. Maybe I can sit here. What a beautiful view, isn't it? But here's beautiful too. The atmosphere I will show you. So we're going to have a great live. And yes, the show is on. So I was just wondering, maybe I shall sit there because the view is so stunning. But it's like, it's so close. So it's really beautiful. And what a privilege, you know? I know that like soon maybe I'm not going to be here, so I really try to enjoy, you know, the last like moments. I can stay as much as I want, but that's kind of some decision that I'm thinking about. And I really like this. Look how beautiful they made. Is that cute? I think it belongs here. Let me see if I can put so you can see it. How cute is this? No? I wish you could see it better. Here, can you see it? So yes, and now we're here. And I think I like the lighting as well. It's like very bright. Let me just move the pillow. Okay, I'm all set. I'm all ready. So we are going to start. Okay. So I have prepared a lot of things that usually people ask. I prepared the answers for them because when I was creating the pool, asking this question, people on the comments were asking their like concerns. So I decided to put everything together. All right, let's start. First, let's start with the most important, and I wanted to on purposely start with this because it's the most important in this whole topic. A lot of people have a big concern regarding God, and a lot of people ask if God exists, you know, if He's real. And I will tell you the short answer, if you don't want to do the full video, is absolutely yes. And you know, studying as theology for 4 years, and of course all my life, and then coming home every day after the university and reading and studying again, I realized that there's only one way to actually find out is when you actually start talking to God and saying, you know, there are people saying, you know, they say, if you don't know, just ask. If you're real, just please show me somehow, send me the people, send me some signs, and God will do that for you, you know, if you ask. So the very short answer in a very small summary to say that absolutely God exists, and thanks to Him we are here. So there should be no doubt, there should be no like a fear or worry, no like a resentment, no trying to put it down, no trying to be, you know, unbeliever, because the people who do not believe are actually the biggest believers, because if something exists doesn't exist, why would you resent, you know what I mean? So the short answer from the point of view of the theology, then absolutely God exists, and in a very big, very bright way. This is number one what I want to mention. And when I was studying theology, we had a very amazing professor, and he was responsible to teach us how to prove people scientifically that God exists. And we had a lot of questions, a lot of people were asking things, and then he said, you know, you can prove the facts. And he gave us charts, he gave us all the materials, he gave us all the manuscripts. He said, you can absolutely prove that God exists. scientifically you can prove actually, and many people done it. There are multiple books written about it, throughout generations. But after he finished the teaching, he stopped. I remember it like it was today. He stopped, he just took a deep breath, and he said, but doesn't matter if you give them all the charts, doesn't matter if you give them all the proof, all the validation, all the books, all the manuscript, you show them original and you translate. If the person's heart is closed, if the person's heart doesn't want to believe, all the proof will be nonsense for him. All the proof will be unnecessary for him. All the research, all the scientific proof will not work if person doesn't want to believe. So I will tell you once for all, know for future that you never need to convince anyone that God exists. You should never try to prove, you should never show them the research, you should never show them the books or try to take a Bible or Quran, whatever you believe, or other religion, and hit them with that spiritual book. And in general, going forward, if you're a classy lady or if you're a gentleman, a man, then I would say to you, it's actually considered inappropriate to prove someone that God exists. That's why if very easily you're asking me if God exists from the scientific point of view, from the theological point of view, from my own personal point of view, absolutely yes. 150,000%, million, billion%, yes, of course he exists. But that is a very personal choice, and everyone needs to make that choice on their own. That's why I suggest you to never argue about that, to never debate that, to never even bring it up. The only time it comes up, it's when you need to get married someone, you ask them, do you believe or not? Because, then how you're going to raise children, the christening or prayer, these things are going to matter. So the only time, even I would not bring it in the friendship, because friendship is not intimate relation. Friendship is not marriage. Friendship, you don't need to have children with that person. So if, for example, there is a girl and she's Arabic, she's fully covered, she has a hijab, all the abaya, and she's Muslim, and I'm, for example, belong to other religion, and I meet her, I'm still going to be friends with her. I have so many people in here that believe different things, wear different clothes, are from different countries, different nationalities, different races, and I never look at them like I judge them by the religion. So I want you to do this like a one big revelation for yourself and like a big promise for yourself, that I am actually going to learn to understand that classiness of a person in me, that I understand that I'm not crossing the boundaries of other people. I'm not talking about God. I'm not pushing my God. I'm not trying to prove them that God exists. And this is such an intimate matter. It's, for example, you have a shower gel and you love. Imagine you have lavender, or you have vanilla or honey, something that you love the scent, and that's your favorite shower gel. And now you're going to the street to the people that you have to love lavender. Lavender shower gel is the best. But some people don't like the scent of lavender. So I want you to understand that talking about God, believing in God, or proving if God exists, it's a super intimate topic. And I can tell you absolutely he exists. And that's why I'm here, because I'm his vessel. He's using me to bless you. And that's the magic. Everything I create is coming from him. My beauty is his gift. You have to understand. He gave me this. He gave me everything. I have health. I have never had problems in my life. And I will touch on about health as well separately. But I never go and I never say to people, do you know I believe in God? Do you know God is real? I can prove that God exists. Because I don't need to tell these things. They can see that in my eyes. They can see that in my smile. They can hear that in calmness of my voice. They can observe the poise of my body language. God is seen through you, of how you behave, how you talk, how you are. So, number one, big summary, big revelation, that we do not touch God, we do not discuss God, we do not pressure people to believe in God, and we do not try to prove that God exists. We keep it to ourselves. It's a very private matter. Now, I want to tell you a very interesting story and history if you talk about God in general. Originally, everything how it started very slowly. In original manuscripts, it's always mentioned one God. There's not a lot of gods, there are not a lot of deities. It started originally with one God. And the story began, the religion began facing God, we know, And suddenly, because of the explosion of population of the people, you have to understand different races came, different things came. It's always funny. It's like at least 30 seats in here. And two men came exactly opposite of me. This is my life story. They always come. You will not believe. I don't want to show, but it's empty. Empty. And they're in front of me. Oh, this man. Alright, so I apologize if you can hear the voice. If it becomes very annoying, let me know. I will try to ask them to. I don't want to ask, but if you need to come. So what I want you to understand, original history started with one God. But because after that we had so many people, so much population, so many different nationalities, and people were spreading and going to different sides of the lands, they start creating deities. They start believing in things. They will find a stick, they will find a paper, and they will create a new deity. Yeah, so how it started everything with one God. Then the people start creating more deities, and they start getting this separation of different religions, separation of different practices, separation of believing to different things. And suddenly we became having this huge chaos. And when Apostle Paul was writing letters to different Romans, Philippines, Corinthians, these are people. And he was constantly saying to them that stop doing these practices. Don't worship false gods. Do not run after deities, because it was a huge boom for different religions, different, especially, Jewish people, they went through a lot of pain. So when they were living in Egypt, they will take some Egyptian practices and rituals. So historically started with one God. Then it became a mess, creating different religions, having different rituals, a mess. And then Paul started pulling people back to the God, the same source. So it's very interesting how we did huge circle, looking for something that doesn't exist, to in the end come back to the same God. It's really interesting. But this is a very important part in a video I want to mention. Also, rituals were always done and created to connect with God. Nowadays, rituals are made to completely be on your own and be the one who dictates things. And when people do rituals, I tell you, be very careful with rituals, because they're never focused on God. They're always focused on you, focused on the power of the human being. And that's why rituals are dangerous. If you're praying, that's a good ritual. Be careful, because a lot of people don't understand there are two different rituals. One is like a rites rituals with like a small letter, that are pagan, that are deities, that are human made, human worshipping, and can create a lot of confusion. And the other ritual, the original ritual with a big letter with big R, are the rituals that make you to connect to God, to go closer to Him, to be able to understand Him, and to actually get what you want, but through Him, not through you, not through your body, not through your intelligence, not through your own power or forcing or getting or manipulating people, but through Him. That's why prayer is also a ritual. It's a very beautiful ritual. But it's when you submit, you completely let go, and you say, okay, could you please help me? I need money for this. I want to do this, and I want to move here, and I want a new place, new house or new car, new husband, first husband, second husband, hopefully not the second husband, or I want children, I want a new car, I want some new things, new dress, whatever you want. I want something. Could you please help me? As a father, as a child, you go to the father, could you please help me? This is very important. Now, also there is one aspect about how church got a little bit spoiled. When you have a clean water and you put a little bit of dirt, a little bit of the color, even if you put orange juice, a little bit, even 1 spoon in water, it's going to dirty the water. It's going to change the color of the water if it's a juice, for example. If you put the sand or you put just a black ink, even if it's tiny, one gram, it's still going to completely change the water consistency. So what church did, that a lot of people were saying that they don't understand, the words, the teachings, that the church was boring to them. Church, in order to keep human interaction and have their congregations to grow, they start doing all this beautiful music, putting different lights, being louder. You know, this is how all the very loud worship songs start being created. And it was I remember I was very little, but the church looked completely different, looked like a disco. And this is how they tried to bring fun into the church in order to keep people and then ask them donations and so on and so on. So the church also went through the history from being quiet, respectful, having the priest and high priest, after that being like, a disco ball. And then it went to the New Age, where church forgot about God. And there are a lot of churches nowadays that there is no talk about God. There is all about self-development, that you can be rich if you want. But excuse me, where is God? He is the wealthy king. Why do you teach me to have money and chase money on my own, with my own power? I can never be truly wealthy on my own, because the wealth comes from only two sources. Either the devil is giving you the wealth or God. So you actually never get wealth on your own. There is no such thing. And that's why, a lot of people say with the entertainment actors, all these criminals, drugs, all these bad businesses that are harming people with alcohol or other gambling consumption, that's the adversary. He's the sponsor for those businesses, for that money. God is a different sponsor. He is there to give you in a pure way, in a calm way, where you can sleep at the night, you're safe, you're blessed. So you have two sources. Now, the danger with the New Age and in the churches, when they're singing and teaching you to rely on yourself, do specific rituals for 21 days you do, and then it becomes normal. There is no such thing in Bible. And it is so far from Bible, or if you're a Muslim, it's so far from Quran that you will not believe. So I want you to understand this once for all. Now, human doesn't need God. This is exactly what I would like you to understand. This is a problem of a nowadays society. That's why people say whatever they want, they attack each other, they comment whatever they want, they are abusive towards each other, like verbally when they see each other. That's why men date a woman and then they just disappear and don't even explain. One girl contacted me, she said, I was dating a man for 2 months. We were seeing each other, talking with each other every day, meeting each other 2-3 times a week, and then he disappeared without explanation. You have to understand, in the older times, men will never treat a woman like this, because there was a certain fear of God that you're playing with his daughter, and we were in a tribe. You could not just disappear. So it's a very interesting way how we got to this very disorganized way of life. And I believe the core reason is because we are fully disconnecting from God. And as I mentioned, believing God depends is only on your personal choice. No one can force you, no one can blame you, no one can make you believe. You can only watch someone, see their testimony, see how they behave, see how they live their life, and then think, I really like her. She says she believes in God, and she believes in God, and she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink. This is me. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do gambling, I don't do drugs. Never done in my life, never tried. I never even had coffee in my life because it has caffeine. In some way, I'm extremely pure, and I love that. I would like to keep it like this, because I always believed in Him. And I want to come in this world in a pure way, and I want to go in a pure way. That's why I don't age. I look younger than I am. I look younger than any person of my age. I don't have wrinkles, I don't have any pigmentation, I don't have any illnesses, I don't take any medication in my life, never been to the doctor. 15 years ago I've been to the doctor. I don't even know for what. I don't know for what. I will not remember, because I do not have any complications. I eat very healthy, I exercise, So first, I wanted you to understand this about God. And I love talking about Him. And a lot of people misunderstand Him because they don't know Him. But I wanted to mention and finally just give you peace that if you are doubting if God exists, but in your heart something is telling you that He does, then you're right, He does exist. But if you're trying to save the world, you're screaming God's name in the streets, don't do that. Because we have churches, we have specific platforms, we have books, we have seminars, we have places where people, if they want to, they can go. So I want you to understand, it's not your job to convince that God exists. You show with your lifestyle, you show with your behavior, you show with your demeanor, and people will watch you, see you, and say, yeah, I can see God in her. And I love one time, I will never forget, one girl, she's from US, and we had a very beautiful, I think around 6 to 7 months, we had a consultation, and then she met a man of her dreams. It was amazing. And then she said, great, everything is done, I achieved my dream. And I remember she always used to say to Tivik, every time I see you, you look more beautiful than before. God took time on you. He really took time on you. He didn't rush. He just took so much time to make you so beautiful, so unique. So people see God in you. And that's why I always emphasize, as a woman, you have to look after your beauty. You have to wear dresses. You have to do your nails and your hair. You must, because you're representing divinity through you. And I believe that every woman needs to get married, needs to have children, needs to have family, because that was an original design for a woman. A woman was never designed to work and struggle and just chase education. This is number one. Now, number two, let's talk about manifestation. Manifestation movement started really recently. It's not very old, but it's not too new, but it's not very old. It's quite a young movement. And when it started, originally people were, quoting Neville Goddard and absolutely forgetting that the person, Neville, knew God and he believed in God. And a lot of people who quote him, they remove the God part. They just quote what is suitable for them. So his teachings right now do not have anything in common with the original of the book that people, excuse me, for the sounds. So it started with that you visualize, you imagine, that imagination creates things. I completely agree. I imagine this dress and now I'm wearing it. I imagine that I'm going to wear this flower and then I plucked from the tree. This flower grows on a very high tree. It's such a beautiful, it's exotic tree, and these flowers, every time I see it, I have to have it. This is like my attachment to the flowers. I love flowers, especially fresh. I love fresh flowers. So manifestation started very naively, that you can visualize, you can create your life, you can plan, you can imagine something deeply, even teleport yourself there, and you can have it because it will attract to you, because you're in a certain vibration, you're thinking about it, and you will attract. And I agree, these things happen. You know, I walked out and I saw this big BMW. The new BMW has a very unique face. That is, those big long lines belong to Rolls-Royce. And I thought, oh, BMW, but I would like Rolls-Royce. And I imagined the big lines, and I imagined on top of BMW, I was looking at it, and I imagined that symbol of the Rolls-Royce. You know, that it's a beautiful symbol. If you check, it's a very spiritual, like a powerful symbol. And I was looking at that BMW, and I was completely ignoring the fact that it's BMW, and I was imagining that I want to see the Rolls-Royce. So I stretched the lines of his nose in my mind, and I put that symbol, and I stretched his back, and I imagined that's Rolls-Royce. Then I went to the restaurant just before I was doing this live. Then I went to the restaurant, I'm ordering the food, I'm sitting there, and guess what? A Rolls-Royce comes and stands next to me, next to my window where I'm sitting, not anywhere else. And I saw that, and I knew that I created it. I created it because I was imagining, I was envisioning, I was completely painting with my eyes. I said, I want, and I was changing it. It was so interesting, such an interesting moment. So visualization, all this attracting something to you, it's possible because you are vibrating on a specific vibration. We are energetic human beings. Happiness is a vibration. Joy is a vibration. Sadness is a vibration. So I want you to understand that the reason people start twisting the manifestation is because it was convenient. You understand? If I'm teaching you about manifestation and I'm telling you, you need to contact me, I'm going to lead the manifestation for you. I'm going to do the spell work for you. I'm going to be the one that can bring you luck or manifest this specific person or specific house or specific things. Yes, but I will help you. I will teach you. I am the one. I'm the guru. Then it's very convenient because then you're on the hook for me, with me. And it's easier to manipulate. Or if I teach you that you can do it, I will teach you the techniques. After a while, you don't need me, but you can do it. Again, I'm teaching you false teaching. I'm saying that you are the one who is doing that. And biggest things with the manifestation I would like to mention. Number one, what I noticed with them is that majority of people that are doing manifestation videos, and please, no offense, it's none of my business, I'm not judging. These are just the research and facts and just a proof. Majority of people who do manifestation videos, have you noticed that they are poor? Have you noticed their backgrounds? Have you checked? Have you looked at their houses? You can see few years I'm doing my recorded videos, you can see the luxuriousness, you can see my plants, my lamps, you can see luxury items, you can see what I'm wearing, you can see the quality of my makeup, you can see wealth. I don't need to tell you that. And I never actually flash anything, I never show off, I never do these things, it's just not who I am. This fabric, the silk, I'm not going to come and show you, you can see it, you can see that it's expensive dress. I don't need to show you, you can see, you have eyes. You have knowledge, you have experience. So people who do manifestation videos, number one, what for me is a bit difficult to watch them is because they don't have anything that they teach us. They don't have a house, they don't have a car, they don't have that specific person. And there was a woman that people were saying why she's doing, she was teaching about a specific person, she was single for 12 years. Then if it's so easy to attract a specific person, why you haven't attracted a specific person? There was another girl saying that she's trying to attract her specific person for 18 months, and then she said, I attracted someone else. I attracted my other specific person. No, you couldn't attract a specific person, so you went after someone else because you got tired after 18 months. That's more than a year. So people who do manifestation videos, unfortunately, don't have anything that they're teaching you. I never teach you how to be married or how to raise children, because I don't have children yet. When I was a couple of years younger, I went and I stayed with my, relatives, and I look after children full time. I was responsible to feed them, and I was doing it when I was little. I've done it when I was 12, 13, 14. I know exactly how to raise children. I've done it with my relatives. I know. So I'm a great mom. I know it. I know how to do it. But I don't have my own children. So I never, have you ever seen me creating a video how to raise your children, how to discipline your children? Because that will be false teaching. How can I teach you something that I have not, I don't have? Or I will teach you how to ride a motorbike. I have no idea how to ride a motorbike. I think it's very dangerous. I can tell you how to be in a luxury cars. I can explain to you the interior design in Rolls Royce. I can tell you what every button is because I have experienced that. I've been there, correct? But I cannot teach you something I don't know. So the problem with manifestation is majority of people, they teach something they never experienced. They don't have wealth and they're teaching manifest the wealth. But you don't have. How can I trust you if you do not have it? And you can see from their faces, they don't have anything. They don't have wealth, they don't have health, they don't have happiness, they don't have love, they don't have intimacy. Majority of them are single. So that means your manifestation videos don't work. And second very sad part is that those people are very unhealthy. They have huge addictions. They're drinking, smoking, they have tattoos, which is self-harm. They have very unkept hair, dreads, all this funny purple, blue, green color of hair. That is all self-abuse. Not a normal human being in the world will ever damage their hair from the black to go to blonde, which is burning your hair, and then from blonde color to blue or green or purple. Not one normal human being will ever do that to themselves. Or tattoos, it's self-abuse. Because why you put your body on pain. And there is a very big celebrity, who is married, now has children, and all his body is covered with tattoos. And when they were asking him about the interviews, he said that he was abused when he was a child. So when the abuse finished, he didn't know how to live without it. So he created another form of abuse. So tattoos are abuse. Piercings are abuse. Funny colors of hair or nails is abuse, because you're abusing your body, you're making and creating a clown of yourself. So those are trauma responses. Me sitting in here the way I'm sitting, it's actually not a very big secret. It just shows how healthy I am emotionally. That's all it shows, that I don't have trauma. I'm not dragging anything. I look in a classy way not because it's better, but because I'm normal. I'm healthy inside. There is a very beautiful neutrality. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not punishing myself. I'm not trying to get attention with my yellow nails or purple hair. So I'm not looking for validation. I'm not dealing with trauma, and I'm not self-harming. So with manifestations, they're poor. They don't have what they're teaching, and of course problems with the skin or hair or health. Also, a very big minus in there is that, have you heard that with manifestation, first of all, there's no such thing manifestation in the Bible, that this doesn't work. Yes, and this word actually doesn't mention. You can search. When I studied it, they explained to me, but there is no such thing, because first commandment saying, "You shall not have other gods before me." He commands us that you shall not worship anything else. And then the manifestation comes and says, you can have this, 10 other things, objects touching this. Okay, I will touch this, and something will happen. Yes, you can believe anything you want. Anything you believe will come true. But manifestation has a very big minus. They say, you are gods. And that's a very difficult thing to say. And I don't know what is going to wait for those people as a punishment. Because if a God is standing and saying, you shall not have any other gods but me, and then you come and teach other people that you are God yourself, don't you worry, you are God. And Bible explains that he writes, don't say that you are gods. And that moment in the Bible is written with a small letter. So it shows that you cannot even write with a big letter these things that you are completely out of your mind to say that you're gods. And I will tell you, if you ever thought that, oh, I'm God because I'm in his image, I'm created. I can be created in the image of my mom and dad, but am I my mom and dad? No, I'm a separate being. Yes, I carry their lines in my face. I carry the color of their hair, the structure of their eyes, maybe some mannerisms, maybe some voice, but I'm not my mom or my dad, correct? So we have to be very careful to not allow ourselves to put ourselves in a punishment of fire, disconnect from God, and harm by saying you are gods. You are not gods. Let me open your eyes. You're a human being, and tomorrow you might not wake up if God decides to stop your heart. If you say you're gods, then great, then you're in control of your heart. But you are not. You cannot even see it. You cannot even touch it. But God can stop any heart, anytime. So when people talk very loudly, when they open their mouths very loudly, God says, okay, watch what I will do. That's why we have different examples. Doesn't matter if you believe in Christianity, you believe in Islam. Doesn't matter what religion you believe to. In all religions, there is punishment for offending the Creator. And of course, it's a bit difficult, to understand. When I was studying theology and they talk about Buddhism, for me, that's not a religion because there is no deity, there is no God. So, with Hinduism is difficult because everything is God. This is God, pillow is God, the painting is God. So there's another extremity. So one religion claims that there is no deity, another claims that everything is deity. So I just finished the high school and I was studying and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So by the time I finished to study all the world religions, and when we started studying Bible, I was like, oh, finally, I'm good, I'm relaxed. That's why I tell you that when you start analyzing, when you start learning, when you start understanding, it just makes more sense when you analyze everything. This is a very important point. And then I wrote as well that it's about, understanding the truth in the end when you analyze. So it's just between you, and you. It's a very personal journey.